Hi, everybody. Happy Tuesday. All right. Happy Tuesday, everybody. We rocked out a bunch of epoxy tumblers yesterday. I'm lined up to do a bunch more. We've got a Christmas one we're going to finish. We've got the one that we did the ombre with the beige and the gold with the live mix, I believe from 2 or 3 weeks ago. We have this gorgeous one with the mermaid shimmer decal instant transfer. And then we use the mermaid shimmer instant transfer full sheet to do this bottom part, or this, I guess this is the top part. And then we used a strip of the cheetah print instant transfers. And then we ombrayed, I want to say that's Desmond and Oswald on there, if I remember correctly, which we all know I don't remember correctly. So Desmond and Oswald on there. This one is ready for epoxy today. We've got a bunch more behind us. I'm lined up in front of me. Hello, Miss Lisa. Hi, Shelly. Hi, guys. All right. Sorry. My allergies started going crazy about 3 minutes ago. Hello, everybody. Hello. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Pam. Hi, Crystal. Sativa. I know it's Sativa. Sativa's here. Hi, Anita. Sativa. Okay. There's some really free. I've been waiting. I'm not even a cat person. We now have this cat that I do love, though. She's freaking adorable. She's like a dog. She's got the personality of a puppy, like a dog, and she's adorable. But I'm not even a cat person. But this little collection has me super excited, y'all. Oh shoot, that's staying on the floor. It's so cute. When I put this little grouping together, I was like, oh, and then I had to wait for it to release before I could show it to you guys. Okay. So all these things are available individually. You have these are all under today's deals. Go to iwantglitter.com. No, Crystal, we don't have word on it yet. Everything is bogged down. So if you have not heard this, we have the shipping system is bogged down right now. We're dealing with it on our end. The Panama Canal, there's a major drought happening in Panama. And you would think the Panama Canal uses ocean water to fill up and let the boats go through and then drain out. It does not. It actually uses rainwater runoff. And because there is a drought, there is a bog down system at that space for the ships to come through. There's nothing we can do about it. Does Emily know about the kitties? No. Oh, no. All right, so I'm going to show them to you guys. First instant transfer. Ew, people. Now, I am a very social person. I love people, but I also, in my age, have gotten to the point where I'm like, I also am okay with no people. So this one cracks me up. It just says, ew, people. And all the cats have those like wide eyes. Okay, very freaking cute. This guy, I love this one. It is all the different drinks, the little beverage cups. And you've got the little wind-up kitty. It's so detailed. You got the little wind-up mouse. You got the little scale, like the fish scales on the cup. The little kitten peeking around the corner. The cat ears on this cup. Little yarn ball. So stinking cute. Little cat paws. Okay. So this is up on the website as well. Instant transfer. We also have a full sheet instant transfer. These are little, these are obvious with their fish bones to go with your kitties. These are individuals. There's no background. So you can use these and place these around individually, which is what we're going to do. These are going to get placed around, blah, 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 all individually onto the cup. You can also use this as a full sheet wrap. If you're like, no, I like it that busy, you can just wrap this around your cup and they will apply just as they are. Isn't that so stinking cute? Okay. The other full sheet, little kitties. Black cats. We have a Tux cat. He's got the little white mustache. This reminds me of him. All the black cats. I know, Mary. So, Mary, this one's for you. Kitty cats. I love it. We have We technically have 4 cats, but we never seen one of them. 2 of them were here when we moved here, and the previous owners were like, they're just barn cats. Can we leave them? We're like, of course. And we feed them. They hang out. One hangs out way out by the cows, and the other one has come up to the house. He's much more social. And then we have our cats. We have Tux, and then we have Cookie, who we adopted. Both of them were pound babies. You think I'm targeting you? Always, Mary. But you love everything, so it's a very easy target. They're both instant transfers. You also can get them as a full sheet water slide. Yes, Crystal, those are both full sheet instant transfers, but you can get them as a full sheet water slide. This one has no background to it. You can see. So these are all like little individual tiny little water slides instant transfers that you could put like on a keychain, like a single one. Okay. Now, that's not it. Wait, and there's glitter. And then we have a glitter sale today on Bud and Baxter. If you have not seen Bud on a cup, Bud has a little opalescence to him. He's got opalescence and metallics. He's gorgeous. Do I have a cup up here with Bud on it? No, we have used Bud recently, but I don't have him out right now. He's only $3, and we also put Baxter because I thought these 2 colors went really, really well. Where did I just put those 2 instant transfers? Oh, under right here. Sorry. I thought these looked good together. So we put them on sale. So if you want to get like an easy cup, you can ombre these 2 together or cover the whole cup in this and do a little collar of this around the center. And then you put your little cat decals on it. Very easy. Okay. You people, I'm even wearing the colors. I even matched my outfit. I planned it. Just kidding. But look how fun would this all be on a cup. 2 cups, 3 cups. So fun. Easy peasy. We tried to take the guesswork out of it. Now, the other day we launched the mini Frappuccino cups, and I told you guys they're real fun. You can make the little snow globes out of them for keychains. This is my little Halloween spooky pumpkin one. We have this video posted on our Snapchat channel and our Facebook group. So our Facebook page. These little tiny plastic cups. These are on the website individually. So if you just want to try one, you don't have to buy a bundle. We normally sell them in like groups of like 5 or 10 or something. We have them individually up there. So if you want to just try one, you can get just one. All right. Okay, that's the new stuff for today. Everybody got it? We announced Battle Box winners yesterday, so you can rewatch yesterday's live if you want to see them. And there goes that. I drank some water. There goes the weird spasm thing. Sorry, my allergies are making my throat and my eyes really itchy. My ears really itchy. You're going shopping. Battle boxes were announced yesterday. Black tie is going out today. It was supposed to go out yesterday. We were locked and loaded and ready to go. And Alyssa had pre-gauged the box of like, oh, it'll fit in this, and it didn't fit. So we had to re-prep 300 other boxes. And if you don't know what that is, it sounds like not a big deal, but it's like collapsed boxes. You have to open them, fold them, tape them, super tape them down, and get them ready. You do that 300 times. It's a lot of work. So we kind of had to start from scratch. So we're a day behind, but they're coming and they're worth the wait. Hi. Okay. So yesterday we did epoxy tumblers. We did Battle Box. We launched the new stuff yesterday. There are still some Battle Boxes left if you want to get in on this month's Battle Box. We know it's Christmas. It's a little bit chaotic for everybody. So have fun, y'all. It is up on the website still. We have about 30 bags of the glitter for the kids. Search glitter for the kids on the website. We need to sell about 30 more bags to hit our goal. It's a beautiful glitter. You will not be disappointed to grab one of those. All right. It's cerulean. You got your first. You're gonna die. It's so much fun. Yes, mark your calendars for next year. Black Friday. Black Friday is our black tie bag. Boop, boop. Michelle, just go to the website, go to iwantglitter.com, click on today's deals. It's all right at the top, all the new stuff. It's super cute cat instant transfers and kittens and just cuteness stuff. And then shoe glitters are on sale for only $3 today. Bud and was it Butch? Baxter. Bud and Baxter are on sale for $3 today. So we put them on super sale. All right, we are going to dive right in. Two things. I've got my mold. This is my mold that I used. We had the Christmas, how fun is this? This is not even the pretty side. This is all the back of the rhinestones and half pearls. We had the Christmas craft addicts mix. I believe there's a handful of these left. I haven't noticed them come by the sold out desk. Black tie is on Black Friday. It's already passed. Donna, black tie was the day after Thanksgiving. It is on Black Friday every year. But it's shipping out today. So this was the Craft Addicts mix. You can see the little green peppermints, the little Santa Claus hats, very cute. I made this keychain. It needs the back finished off. So I'm going to have this mold sitting here. So if I have extra epoxy, because I had yesterday I had a little thing that had extra epoxy and I ended up throwing it away because I forgot this was sitting here. So I'm going to have this here. Oh, when will it be at your house? I have no idea when it's going to get to your house. It's shipping out today. But during the holidays, all the shipping platforms, DHL, FedEx, UPS, Post Office, everyone has delays because they're getting slammed. So I have no idea how long it'll take to actually get to you. Oh no, Heather. Yeah, we have no gauge on like how long. It could take 2 days and it could take a week and a half. I have no gauge on the timing for that because there's no, you're welcome. There's no gauge for us. I'm writing myself notes. You're very welcome. All right. Sorry, guys. I have to write down things in my head sometimes because I'm getting the pregnancy and the lack of sleep. So I've been awake since 1 a.m. this morning. I got a couple hours of sleep last night, which is par for the course of my old world before pregnancy. But ooh, this one's a doozy. That's why I'm alive a little early too, is because I was like, there's no way I'm going to make it. There's no way. I'm already like, ooh, after we craft a little bit today, Mama's going to go take a nap. My nap, I mean, just lay still in a quiet room watching some trash TV because my brain and my body are done. So for everybody who also missed Black Tie, Summer's birthday box on June 3rd. That's the next one. It's almost the same thing as Black Tie, the same concept, but it's on my birthday. So it's called Summer's birthday box. And it's the same concept. I mean, it's basically 6 months later on my birthday. It's my birthday present to you guys. Ooh. All right, let's dive in. Now, if you guys are new to epoxy, I'm going to kind of, if you are like the old pro, you might still pick some stuff up today, but I'm going to go really detailed step by step because we've been here for so long. And sometimes my brain forgets that there are people who watch who have never seen this done before. And I skip over some things because I'm like, oh, you guys already know it is blah, blah, blah. I'm going to try to walk through this very, very detailed and walk through tips and tricks and things to help and make life easier for you. And so we're going to do that today. Mary Rodriguez, I'm mailing you a cup. It's the cup that you wanted. It was the one I did yesterday with the mom business mom or mama's business or something. And it's the pink and brown one with the handle. It got a boob on the butt. I do not know why. I did not use a lot of epoxy on it, but it's got a little boob on the butt. So it would end up in my strip pile because it will go in the pile of things to someday fix. And then in 2 years, I would be like, oh, I never fixed that. And I would throw it away. So I'm just going to mail it to you, Mary. If you want to sand off the butt and put one more coat of epoxy on, girl, you got this. You got your mask? Oh yeah, this mask is perfect. Yeah, the birthday box was amazing. You guys are all going to be wow. This black tie is also pretty awesome. All right, I'm going to go ahead and shut this door down. Get the vent fans going. All right. So if you've never joined us, epoxy is a 2-part product. It can be tricky, but once you get the hang of it, all products that you are going to make cups with are a little bit tricky. They all take a learning curve. This is a skill to learn. This is not something you're going to be like, pick it up and do. This is a skill to learn. You're going to want to watch a lot of videos, a lot of lives, ask a lot of questions. I go live specifically so that you guys can ask me questions about what I'm doing. So if you see me doing something, you're like, well, why are you doing that? What kind of gloves are you wearing? What's your brand of mask? Ask those questions. If I don't see your questions, my moderators and some of our senior members who have been here for a long time, they will answer your question even if I don't see your question and I don't get to it, because I can only see 2 or 3 comments at a time, and then they're gone. So like this, people are commenting, the comments are going away. So I might not see your comment. I'm not ignoring you. If you could see what I'm looking at, I see a screen with my pretty little face on it, my beautiful glitter wall, and then like 3 comments on the side. And as you guys are going, those are scrolling through. So sorry, my throat is itchy. I'm hoping when I put my mask on, the allergies go away. So it's a 2-part product. Every epoxy is different. There are now hundreds of brands. You could say, have you ever heard of, I will say no. There are hundreds and hundreds of brands. Companies are really getting into the epoxy game. Things like, yep, the comments legit fly by. Yes, they do. There are a lot of companies that have gotten into the epoxy game now. So there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of brands of epoxy. So it's impossible for me to know them all or recommend them all. We have our own brand of epoxy. We are no longer carrying epoxy. I have been dabbling with epoxies to find one to recommend to you guys. And I still am uncomfortable with a recommendation at this point. Our epoxy was phenomenal. If you have not followed our journey, we have been trying to carry epoxy for 5 years, and we have had horrible experiences. Most of it was shipping and just damage and bottles exploding. It's been one hurdle after another, and it's cost us tens of thousands of dollars, like tens of thousands of dollars. And so we have had to stop carrying epoxy because we just can't catch a break. We laugh. We just say 2 steps forward and 18 steps back, because we have not caught a break on our epoxy. We love it, but it is not cost effective. We would have to charge 3 times more than everybody else to make up for all the flaws and things that, like the shipping errors and things that have happened, that for one reason or other, like insurance doesn't cover or whatever, or still battling with a company from 2 years ago to get 10 grand back. That is their fault 100%, but they don't want to send us the money. Thank you, Heather. I know it was ours. I worked for a very long time to get an epoxy that was super user friendly, a tumbler epoxy. We still have the deep pour. We still have our UV resin, but the tumbler art epoxy is the one we have the worst luck with. I don't know what it is. Like, there was something in the universe. It says, do not carry epoxy anymore, Summer. So we have gotten out of the tumbler game. It's not to say we won't revisit it in the future. I'm a little gun shy. I need some distance between the last 20 grand that we lost that we didn't have. Yeah. Small business is hard. We do carry, Crystal, we do carry UV resin. You guys bought us out. in a record landslide of October for Black Spooktacular. So many sales for Spooktacular. It be sold out in like 13 minutes. We did not anticipate that whatsoever. Sometimes we cannot gauge that. Some years we won't sell any of it, and this year we sold literally every single bottle we had. We reordered it, but it's backlogged in, so we don't have a date yet. We won't have a date until it actually lands in Houston at the port. Is that Houston, the port? At the port. And then we'll get a delivery date, but we do not have a clue. We don't know where it is. We know it's between here and the manufacturer. But yes, we do carry UV resin, but it's the time of year where everything just slows down shipping wise for us. And we can't, things we would normally be able to get in like 3 weeks is like taking 2 months. So, all right. So we're going to go ahead and epoxy. Epoxy is a 2-part product, an A and a B. In other countries, they call it resin. Some people in America call it resin. Resin and epoxy are essentially the same thing. I'm sure there is a actual definition between the two, but when you were just talking to the layman standing on the street, if they're talking about resin or they're talking about epoxy, this is what they're talking about. There are all sorts of resins and epoxies. There are 2-part epoxies. There are 1-part epoxies like UV resin. There are, sorry, when I talk a lot, I get out of breath. The baby's up in my lungs. There are 2-part epoxies. There are 1-part epoxies like UV resin, soft cured and hard cured UV resins. There are deep pore epoxies. There are tumbler epoxies. Deep pore epoxies cure at a cooler temperature. When you mix A and B together, a chemical reaction happens and it actually creates heat within the epoxy. The hotter it gets, the faster it cures. So deep pore epoxy is designed to not get hot. It's designed to stay cool so that you can pour a thicker amount so that the heat doesn't build up in it. Regular tumbler epoxy, you do not want to be pouring over 1/4 of an inch. If it's more than 1/4 of an inch thick, you're going to get a flash cure and you're going to have issues. I wouldn't even say a quarter of an inch is quite thick. So because it creates heat faster, it will cure faster. There are epoxies on the market that are quick cure epoxies or what fast cure. We have a quick cure. It dries in 10 minutes. That's a totally different beast. But there are fast curing resins that are cured to the touch hard in 4 hours. I have dabbled with them. I'm not a fan. I don't need them. I have no use for them. They're more expensive. They're generally about 30% more expensive than a regular tumbler epoxy or regular epoxy. That is because it costs more money to produce it. And it does cure faster. But if you are one of the people who, like me, even with my business, I would not be ready. I would not be ready to turn a tumbler in an hour. Because in the middle of doing all my tumblers, I'm still working on all the details like the decals and cutting the vinyl and deburring my mold projects and flood coating them. So I had all these other things. So I never had a need to have a tumbler ready in 1 hour to be for the next coat of epoxy. So I never got into the hype. I didn't see the point in spending 30% more on my epoxy when I didn't actually need it. I wasn't going to utilize it for that way. Does it have its place in this world? Absolutely. It is a great product for things like waves and stuff like that because it cures quickly. Your waves will solidify fast and they will stay how they are. But for regular tumbler, for where your money's at, stick with a regular tumbler epoxy. A tumbler epoxy or an art epoxy is going to be thicker in density. So when it comes out of the bottle, it's going to be real thick, almost like honey. Deep pore epoxy is more like water. It's going to be very very liquidy, like a vegetable glycerin. Okay, there is a difference. The deep pore epoxies, you can use them on tumblers. I don't recommend it because it's so thin. You're going to have to use a lot of layers. And it does tend to fisheye more because it is a thinner product. Did you know, guys, that there's a product out now that cleans up uncured epoxy? Yeah, it's called rubbing alcohol. It's been out for hundreds of years. Rubbing alcohol is your best battle against uncured epoxy. Epoxy hates rubbing alcohol, and that's what you use to clean up the floor. That's when we have spills here. We have we have these wipes. They're called they're not Gorilla wipes. We have these big wipes, they're huge wipes, and they're like 70% rubbing alcohol. Well, no, they're 99% rubbing alcohol, but it's like a baby wipe. It's basically an alcohol baby wipe. And it's like, so it's like a rag that's covered in rubbing alcohol. It's the easiest way to clean them up. Oh yes, our deep pore epoxy is magic. That's what we used on these guys. This is our deep pore epoxy. So deep pore epoxy can pour thicker and deeper without flash curing because it cures at a cooler temperature. Yes, so and there's going to be always going to be a bunch of stuff advertised to you through the tumbler world and the epoxy world. You got to kind of read between the lines. So just use rubbing alcohol. Don't spend any extra money on things. Just baby wipes and rubbing alcohol. It'll clean up beautifully. So the deep pore is thinner. It cures at a cooler temperature. All right. So those are kind of like your ideas between the temperatures. As always, and I will always say this, do not just follow my instructions blindly. Sorry, my allergies are so bad right now. Do not just follow my instructions blindly. Every epoxy is different, every brand. So you need to read the manufacturer's instructions on how to mix it, whether you mix it by volume or by weight. And if you mix it 1-to-1, 2-to-1, or 3-to-1, those are the most common. Or if it's UV resin and you cure it under a UV light. You need to read the manufacturer's instructions on all your epoxy. This is a chemical. You need to treat it as such. Be aware of what you're using. Read the instructions. Don't just go, oh, some are measured by weight, so I'm going to measure by weight. Your epoxy might not cure. If it's a measured by volume epoxy, it will not balance and it will not cure properly. All right, I'm putting on my mask because I'm hoping this fixes my allergies. Whatever's in the air, I'm hoping that this mask filters it out. There's something for sure blooming. It got real warm yesterday and real warm today here. So something is blooming. Grass is growing or something's happening because my allergies are just fierce right now. All right. Now, our epoxy is measured by weight. I know, Kathy, I'm so sorry. Trust me, girl, we are just as sad as you are. We're still talking to our manufacturer and courting the idea, but we've hit kind of a rock and a hard place. I don't have any more money financially as a person, human being, to invest. I've got like $250,000 into this company and I don't have any more. And we don't just have like 20 grand laying around. So we're kind of at a stalemate for this. And that's kind of where this decision was really made for us. It was kind of taken out of my hands. So Cindy, you want to wait 4 hours. The sweet spot. So Cindy is asking, when using deep pour, how long do you need to wait before adding the next layer if it's super deep? The sweet spot is 4 hours. If you wait more than 5 hours and you're doing a completely clear project, you will see a line. There will be a visible like shadow line in there because this one will cure up too hard. When you lay this one on, there'll be a separate layer. If you do it in about 4 hours, this one has started the curing process. This one goes on top. They will actually fuse together and there will be no line there. Okay, so if you're doing a completely clear project, the sweet spot is 4 hours, 4.5, 4 to 5 hours. After 5 hours, you run the risk of getting that little seam. You're welcome. Okay. Sleeves up. I'm going to do a double batch of epoxy for this round because I've got 2 cups on the turner right now. We're doing the double turner. Mask is definitely helping with my allergies. All right. So I got 2 cups on the turner, so we're going to make a double batch of epoxy. Basically what that means is I've got these 2 cups rock and roll, and we're going to be epoxying these boys. And I am going to be doing them back to back real quick so I can make one bigger batch of epoxy. Turn on my scale. Like I said, ours is measured by a weight, so I do it on the scale.
I actually did that on purpose. I prefer measuring by weight. You could be more exact. 30, 40, 50. So I need about 25 grams of A. And 25 grams of B. Okay, 24 grams of A, 24 grams of B mixed together. Yellowing epoxy. This is a big topic in the epoxy world. All epoxy yellows. Some epoxies have an anti-yellowing agent in them. That does not mean it won't yellow. That means it will yellow slower. It will still yellow. If you come and find that project in 2 years, it will have yellowed. So any completely clear project is eventually going to yellow, even if you keep it out of the sunlight. So just be aware of that when you're shopping. Don't kind of get fooled by that. Yes, anti-yellowing is important. Most epoxies now have anti-yellow because companies aren't stupid. They know that that's a selling point, and they know that that's what people want. So they're adding it to most epoxies out there nowadays. Do not also be fooled by a company that's saying, oh, made with natural ingredients or non-toxic or organic. Those are all crap words. This is not a regulated product, so nobody is regulating what they say and tell you. There are organic ingredients that can kill you, natural ingredients that can kill you. Glutaraldehyde is a naturally occurring gas product in the world. Formaldehyde is in glutaraldehyde, and formaldehyde will kill you. So be aware that just because there's catchwords that say, oh, organic, natural, VOC free, chemical free, blah, blah, blah. Wear your chemical respirator no matter what, okay? VOC free just means it doesn't emit certain gases or properties when it's curing. It does not mean it emits none. If you have an epoxy allergy, it can be violent and aggressive and very, very painful. So you want to protect yourself. And you may not have an allergy reaction to it for years. I've been working with epoxy now like 10 years more. I don't even know. For years. I had no issue. And then suddenly this last year, I became highly allergic to UV resin, just out of blue. I thought I had strep throat multiple times. Tested negative every time. Couldn't figure out. Finally figured out that it was coinciding with nights that I would use UV resin. And it is so bad that I can just take a quarter of a breath of, if you open the cap of UV resin, put one drop down, cure it under a light in a huge room, and I walk in that room, take one breath and walk out, I will react. I'm very, very allergic to it. Of course, when I wear my mask and my gloves, I'm fine. I take care of my body. I make sure my room is ventilated. I have my air purifier going. I'm trying to speed up on that boy. I have my VOC air purifier going, and I have ventilation system in this room. You had something living in the cupboard that yellowed. Yes. Yeah. So just be aware. Take care of your body. Wear a chemical respirator. It's not worth finding out in 5 years that you've given yourself COPD or asthma because you didn't feel like wearing a mask because you thought you were fine. All right, we got the Merry Christmas, the Merry Mama Christmas. This is a Very Merry Mama. These are white snowflakes that I just cut with vinyl. These are the little red poinsettia gnomes. These are all sold out. Sorry, these decals are sold out. The little mini Merry Mamas are still available, but the large one is not. The snowflakes I just cut out on vinyl. The glitter is just one of our pretty silver, I believe it's a live mix. The red in the background is a full sheet of our instant transfer. If you just type in Christmas instant transfers, you're going to see a bunch of full sheets. They're on sale right now. And then we just did Tack It, and we used we have foil sheets that you can do on your tumblers. I put some foil sheets down and did some foil work. All right, there we go. Got good coverage there. We're going to put a little drip off the butt. When you do the butt, you're going to put that epoxy on the bottom of the tumbler here and then push it off. By doing that, you're going to avoid a lot of mess on your table, okay? Because you're not going to, if you try to scoop it with your finger and slap it over there, you're going to drip it all over your table. But just pour a little drip right on the butt and then push it over the edge and cover the bottom. Now this tumbler just needs a thin coat. We're just actually sealing it in because we have those vinyl snowflakes. So they need to be put under epoxy. The instant transfers don't necessarily need to go under epoxy because they're permanent bond. But the vinyl snowflakes are not permanent bond. They are permanent. They are permanent vinyl, but not permanent enough to survive my house. So we got to put them under epoxy so that they stand a chance of surviving over a long period of time. So this cup is on its final coat. Okay, you can see I only use one finger to apply my epoxy. That keeps my work area clean and neat. My gloves are very easy to clean off. So I can just clean the one finger. Okay, and rock and roll. I'm very big on making sure that there's no random epoxy laying around on my table because I don't want to end up with it on my arms or on my clothes. All right. We're going to spin the turner around. And we're going to go at this one. This one is the white live mix from a couple weeks ago. Okay. This is a beige top with a gold bottom. Hold on, let me back my light up. Bring you guys in here. All right. So this tumbler was sanded, spray painted these colors. This is like a beigey taupey color. This is a gold on the bottom, and then we put epoxy, a thin layer of epoxy. It's called a hang method layer of epoxy. Very, very thin. It's about 3 grams of epoxy spread over this tumbler. Thank you, Cindy. 3 grams of epoxy on this entire tumbler, on a super duper duper thinner than a piece of paper coat on this tumbler. Then we poured the live mix over the top of it, patted it down nice and flat to that epoxy and let it cure up overnight. Now it's ready for its epoxy to cure. So we're going to go ahead and just carefully apply our epoxy. This turner goes a little fast for me and it's going the opposite direction that I'm used to. So this is going to be a game of patience for me. Okay, you see when I come up to the lip, I'm always putting epoxy on and swooping up only towards that top lip. That's how you avoid getting any epoxy on the inside of your cup. By doing the swoop up, swoop up, swoop up. Okay. Now, the goal on this layer of epoxy is not, we're not trying to cover this total, we're not trying to get a smooth coat with this first layer. There's a bug in here. There's a fly in this room. It's going to be the bane of my existence today. This layer is just to get you started, to seal in that glitter. It is not intended. It is not intended to get a smooth coat on your over chunky glitter. Needs at least 2 to 3 coats of epoxy over the top before you're going to get any kind of coverage. If you put too much epoxy in your tumbler because you're trying to get a smooth coat in one round, you're going to get a lot of fisheyeing and rippling. It's too thick. Your cup cannot handle that. So this first layer is just to start that process off. I need about 2 grams more. See if I can pull some from the top so we don't have to do that. Oh, this fly is going to land on my cups. I know it. Devil fly. I'm going to try smacking. All right, there we go. Actually, that came up perfect. I just tried to smash the fly and missed. All right, we're going to do a quick torching. Okay, a little spot right there. Mary, that red tumbler is made from a full sheet of instant transfer. It's red with white snowflakes or white snowflakes. If you put in white snowflake instant transfer, it'll pop up. Just do the quick little zhuzhy zhuzh. Okay, we're just going to torch this guy real quick. All right, so now these guys will go into the turning room. All right, we'll move another turner in. Okay, this is our auction cup. The current bid is at $380. The proceeds of this tumbler are going towards helping a family that has a baby in the NICU. Actually, I should have asked Morgan how they're doing today. I haven't asked this week how the baby is doing. They have a baby in the NICU, intensive care, not NICU, intensive care unit. He had severe complications from pneumonia, and they are facing like $10,000 or more in bills. So I'm doing my part. We're auctioning off this tumbler. It's a big 40 ounce. It's got a beautiful aqua handle. And the current bid is at $380. This is a strictly a charity cup. So it's charitable givings. This cup is ready to get the next layer of epoxy. I'm keeping this cup very simple. I just love these decals. I love these glitter colors and this decal together. So I paired them together to make this cup, and we kept it simple. Okay, this cup just needs another coat of epoxy to get rocking and rolling. Hi guys. Okay, I did the little trick down here. If you have not heard this trick, hold on, I gotta move. I'm on a different phone than I'm used to, so the angle of your guys' camera is a little different than what I'm used to. Hold on, there we go. With the bottom, it needed a little bit of extra coverage to get a nice smooth butt down here. So I took UV resin and I put a swoosh of UV resin around the outside, and I cured up the UV resin. So the UV resin cures up immediately, and covers that edge and gives you a nice smooth edge, and then you can epoxy over the top once it's fully cured. Now this tumbler, we're going to do a coat of epoxy. I'm going to do about 35 grams of epoxy. Sorry, you're seeing this tumbler bounce because my blue tape is catching on the little screw. So we'll move that. All right, so here we go. This instant transfer on here is part of the soft lilac collection. It is restocked. It is back up on the website. Okay. You can grab the soft lilac collection. It's a collection of different really pretty instant transfers together. And I'm getting this round of epoxy on. This may be its final coat. As long as this level layer comes out perfect, this will be a final coat. When I mix epoxy on camera with you all, keep in mind I mix very, very fast. I am really adept and confident at getting the bubbles out. So I'm not worried about bubbles. I don't stress about bubbles. I've kind of had to learn over time to be like that because you guys don't want to sit and watch me stir epoxy slowly for 3 minutes. You would have 3 people watching at the end of that. It's just a boring process to mix that epoxy so slow. There's no downside to, like, there's no negative other than you just get a lot of bubbles. It doesn't like hurt the epoxy or anything, but you do end up with quite a few bubbles in there that you're going to have to deal with at the end. Okay, as always, I clean my stir stick right away because I don't want that epoxy sitting around on my table. And just like every other cup, I'm going to pour about 1/4 below the surface of that lip and slide down. Oh! So I wasn't paying attention. I was looking up at comments and I dripped the epoxy right down on my finger. I'm trying to keep up with you guys and epoxy at the same time. Okay, we're just pushing the epoxy down from that point, slow and steady. You can see I'm kind of avoiding the space right around here. We're going to do that last. Okay, we're just working that butt. This tumbler may need 1 more coat of epoxy after this. We'll see. We're going to gauge that by how it looks. As always, when I do tumblers on lives, I do my best, but it's very difficult to be live and doing tumblers. If you've ever tried to go live and talk and work and teach at the same time, ever, is very difficult. So there's always slight imperfections in all my live cups, including auction cups. They're no different, especially if I work on them like this. This looks beautiful. Now I taped off this top piece. If you're new to tumblers, you do this when you want to have a little lip on the top. So this is going to have a little stainless steel showing up there. Okay, now I'm going to go around this part very carefully. I don't want epoxy bunching up on those where the handle hooks to. So I'm not taping them off. I'm just being very careful around them. Okay. If it doesn't lay flat around there, then you're going to have issues. Okay. Scrape off the extra. I do have a little bit of extra epoxy left, so we are going to use it. Okay, before I do that, I'm going to torch this guy, but first, I'm just going to make sure this guy is clean. Just make sure there's no epoxy in the hole. Make sure there's no epoxy around this part. It looks clean. So just double checking that round. Okay, and we'll do this side. Because no matter what, you're going to bump those little handles. So you got to just make sure you get them real nice and cleaned up if you do. Okay, looks good. Now we're going to torch. Big old bubble right there. If you are afraid of the torch, you can use a heat gun. It is not as effective. Heat gun removes bubbles by warming up the epoxy and getting it more viscous and fluid, so that the bubbles can kind of rise to the surface because it becomes more liquidy, and so it makes it easier for the bubbles to come through that level, through that epoxy. But torches, they warm up the epoxy as well, so they do something similar, but they also use the CO2 from the flame to attract the oxygen in that bubble. So the bubble will actually pull to the surface towards that CO2. And you will notice, if you're like, no, there's no way. But I'm telling you, if you've never used a torch, and then you use a torch for the first time, you will be shocked at the difference between a heat gun and a torch. It is a little nerve-wracking, but you can see you just kick it on and then keep moving. Do not focus on any one particular spot. If you try to use your torch and go, oh, there's a bubble right there, go like that, you're going to burn your epoxy immediately. You just got a quick brush, 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 brush. If you miss it on the first go around, just catch it on the second go around. Have time with epoxy to cure it. Now, when you put the top taping on your tumbler, you need to pull it off immediately when your epoxy gets on there. It's an immediate pull. Some people who have learned from people who don't know what they're talking about have been told and teach to wait 45 minutes. That is incorrect. If you wait, all you are doing is creating a gummy epoxy. The epoxy will start curing up and get thick. When you pull that tape, it will create strings like Laffy Taffy because it doesn't want to pull apart. It's not liquid. It's not just going to cut through it like water. It's gonna pull like taffy. You're going to get all sorts of little strings of epoxy that go up and go in your tumbler and all over the place. You want to rip it and pull it up right after your epoxy is applied. Your epoxy is very fluid. Sorry, I just saw a spot that had got missed. Your epoxy is very fluid, and it will cut through it. It will slice through it. Some people that don't know what they're talking about is me, is Emily. It cuts through it. And epoxy is a doming product. So like when you put a drop of water on a table, it makes a little ball. Epoxy is the same way. When you drop a drip, it makes a little ball. So when you cut the edge will ball up. And it will not just flow off the cup unless you have way too much epoxy in your cup. All right, so this tumbler is looking spectacular. We'll gauge it tomorrow whether this one needs another layer or not. Okay, so this one's gonna go in the turning room. Sorry, I was just checking on my projects in there. All right. Let me see if I can show you guys. If it'll even show up on camera. Can you see that little drop? See how it looks like a dome bubbled up, and the little ones that are the little drips behind it are all domed up? That's what epoxy is, just like water. It will ball up. It doesn't just flow out and go flat. Okay. All right, I've got this little bit of epoxy. I've got this mold. I'm going to put some glue in there. Let's use Mauricio. No. Let's use Sable. All right, I'm going to use Sable. Sable is just one of our pretty greens. It has bars and diamonds in it. We're just finishing out. This is one that we just did the other day. Last week, I believe. Was this last week? I started this mold with some extra epoxy. Same thing. We're just using leftover epoxy to make this keychain. And I used the, there is a holiday Craft Addicts mix up right now. There's probably maybe 30 of them left. I don't really know. And we use that in the first layer. The second layer is getting just all green to back it up. Okay, simple, easy. Tap it on the table. Now, when you do keychains, you can go on like Amazon. You can buy these things called jump rings. They're little metal circles. These are very important for your keychains and your dog collars, your dog tags, and all that. The jump rings will act like rebar in cement. How rebar is in cement to like back it up and double it up so it's stronger. The jump rings do the same thing. So we put the jump rings down in the epoxy. You put them down inside. They get hidden in the epoxy. And that's just going to reinforce that circle. Otherwise, that epoxy might break very easily. We sell silicone tools on the website, guys. You can grab them very easily. So I'm just going to cover it back up. Okay. And then clean off the little part where the key is going to go through the hole. Okay, we're going to let this just sit now. I'm going to pop the torch a couple times on it. That's it. I don't recommend torching your molds at home. This is a do as I say, not as I do thing. I have gobs of molds, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of molds. So if I accidentally ruin this one, I'm not going to be overly heartbroken. But when you apply heat on your mold, it can degrade your silicone. And over time, the silicone, it might not even be over time. If you apply too much heat, it's going to change the makeup of that silicone. It will bond to your epoxy, and then you'll have to rip it apart to get your epoxy out. When it cures, it's going to cure together. Sometimes it just degrades it over time. So I don't recommend it, but if you saw me do it, all I do is go. So it doesn't really have time to generate heat. It just does the CO2, pops the bubbles. For your molds, I do recommend just spraying with 99% rubbing alcohol for your bubbles. All right, so these are what jump rings look like. They come in all different types of cases. This is just the one I have sitting here on my desk. Okay. Oh, okay. If you're just jumping in, hello, everybody. What was the purple at the bottom of the tumbler, please? Oh, the one that I just had? That was Harold. 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 The top was a mix of Leroy and I have to think about the top. The top was a mix of Leroy and Sebastian. I believe the top was Leroy and Sebastian. The bottom is Harold. Sorry, guys. It's very hot in here. But with my mask on. Hello, Miss Levon. With my mask on. It's getting very warm in here. So we're stripping it down. The bonus of everything I wear is baggy. It's easy to take off. All right. Baby Betty is out loud and proud right now. All right, let me show you guys what we got on. So for everybody who's just joining, yesterday we launched the little mini cups individually. So you get these little beverage cups individually. And then you can make these cute little snow globes. If you feel like, I have so much glitter, what am I going to do with it? You can make cute little things like this. It doesn't all have to go on a tumbler. It can also go in a tumbler. So we have these little Frappuccino cups individually available on the website. I made this cute little fall Halloween one. I used our skull beads to make the little skull beads. I drilled holes in them. Put it on this cute little, oh, I don't know what just happened there. Oh, my little pom-pom just broke. All right, I made the skull beads, drilled holes in them. I had it attached to the pom-pom. The little string on the pom-pom just broke. But you can do these, and I rhinestoned the top and a little decal with vinyl. Just fun. Okay. Then on the website, new today, Baxter and Bud are on sale for $3 each. Okay, I thought these were really, really good colors because they went really cute with the decal that just came out. Today's little theme is kitties. Okay, so this is a little kitty beverage cup drink. Hold on, there's some epoxy on my scale. Sorry, didn't want to get my arm in that. these are the decals today. The cute little kitten beverage cups. How freaking cute are those? Kitty cats with you people. Okay, then you have the full sheet of the fish scales. These are individual little fishies. You can cut them and put them on individually. They can be wrapped as one sheet or cut as individuals. I know, Emily. This is Liza. You people. And then this cute little cat. These are all available individually. So these two can be purchased as an individual, and each sheet can be purchased individual. Okay? All separate pieces. They're not bundled together today. Frap cups finished. Nice. All right, so all those goodies are up on the website. I'm going to do one more tumbler. There's my belly button. I'm in my comfy clothes today. All the Taylor Swift fans, I'm in my comfy clothes era. All right. So those are the new items that are up on the website today. There's also new stuff from today, yesterday, and last week. There's so much new stuff. Oh, the frap cups are already sold out? Holy smokes. Okay. Frap cups are sold out. I missed that. Usually I see everything as it sells out, but I missed that one. All right, so we're going to be working with this guy. This is another instant transfer. Okay, this is part of the Mermaid Shimmer. If you search Mermaid Shimmer instant transfer, this will pop up. If you search cheetah print instant transfer, this will pop up. This is a full sheet. These are both come as full sheets. We cut them with our Cricut machine. And then we put Desmond, I believe that's Desmond, and Oswald. We ombre together. This has been spray sealed with clear glossy Rust-Oleum clear gloss. My favorite is Rust-Oleum 2X clear gloss for spray sealing. You want to use clear glossy spray paint. Other creators are going to tell you this matte finish. That can get you in a lot of trouble really fast if you buy the wrong matte finish. If you spray matte finish on your glitter will then be matte finish. The shine does not come back. So only use glossy. That's what I recommend. People are going to say, oh, epoxy repels off of it. It does not. That is not true. Epoxy will stick to perfectly smooth, clean glass. It has nothing to do with the glossiness of the spray paint. What is happening is that those people are putting their epoxy on their spray paint too early after they spray painted it. Spray paint takes 24 hours to fully cure. Well, it depends on the brand, I should say, because some brands are going to be different. Spray paint takes 24 hours to cure. It is emitting invisible little gases while it's curing. Okay. Okay, it's emitting the invisible gas while it's curing. That gas, if you put your epoxy on that cup too early, since you spray paint it, will create major fish eyes in your epoxy. So if somebody's getting fish eyes on their spray paint, that's why. Hi, Margaret. I was so careful pouring the first one and not careful at all pouring the second one. Hold on, I got to do like 3.3 grams. Okay. If you were just jumping on, go to iwantglitter.com, click on today's deals. You're going to see the newbie stuff for today. Some really cute instant transfers. Hello, 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 Ms. Viola. I am just quickly mixing this round of epoxy for this tumbler. Hi, guys. As always, when you work with epoxy, make sure you protect your body. Work in a well-ventilated area. That does not mean work in your bathroom with a window open. That means you need to have a system pulling air out and pushing air in. They have window units that you can put in your window that actually sucks the air from the inside the bathroom and pushes it out and cycles fresh air in. That is what I mean. I don't just mean open a window. You have to have cycling air. Work with nitrile gloves on. Nitrile gloves are not the same as latex or vinyl gloves. They are very different. They are more expensive, but they are more expensive because they're the ones that actually protect you. Latex and vinyl will keep liquid from getting onto your skin, but nitrile will actually block the vapors that are created in the epoxy from going through. The vapors, if you are allergic to epoxy and you wear latex gloves or vinyl gloves, you will have a major reaction because the vapors can penetrate through the gloves and affect your skin. So you want to wear nitrile, N-I-T-R-I-L-E. You also want to wear a chemical respirator over your mouth and your nose and breathe only filtered air. We have this particular mask. It's very comfortable. I've broken my nose 3 times and I could wear this thing all day. It's a very comfortable mask to wear. I highly recommend it. I am not sponsored by them in any way. I just really love this mask. I found them years ago and I have got 3 of them that I keep at all times. But I buy fresh cartridges. You can buy the mask on Amazon. I buy the refill cartridges directly from the brand. We have this linked in our Amazon shopping page. So if you go to our website, there's a little A icon at the top. If you're on our mobile app, it's all the way at the bottom. But if you're on the website, it's up at the top right. Click on the little A and go to body protection, and you're going to find this mask. All right, here we go. When I apply like this, I'm going to apply on the instant transfer only first. It's going to be one way I can control that glitter from traveling all over where I don't want it, is by controlling my epoxy and not rubbing on that glitter before it's time. So we get this covered. Swoop up, swoop up, swoop up. Just do this like in any other tumbler. So I felt like I was getting too much on my finger and I was pushing too much towards the top. So I scraped my finger into my bowl and took off some epoxy. You don't want to push a ton of epoxy up here because if you do too much, it's going to flood down and it's actually going to get inside your cup. All right, then what I'm going to do, get that epoxy right to that end. Okay, then we're going to start applying it just to the glitter. I want to try to rub on this as little as possible because I don't want to dislodge any of that glitter, even though it is spray sealed in. It is not infallible, so we're just going to do it slow and steady. Adding epoxy, not a lot of pressure, gentle pressure, because you don't want to push and slide because you'll end up making a big mess. Okay, and just epoxy that glitter. So we're going to go in the butt. Bringing those 2 edges together, got a little bit more for the butt. Push it over. Okay. Then I'm going to go right along that line and just carefully make sure it goes seamlessly and it has coverage. But you notice I'm not dragging my finger up into here because if there's like stray little glitters on my glove, I don't want them up there. So I'm just carefully going along this line. And there we go. And that's how you avoid getting epoxy all over, glitter all over your tumbler, traveling glitter. spot right there. See that? Whoop, right there. I'm going to let it rotate around. This one has quite a few bubbles on it. No big deal. We'll get them with the torch. Making sure I got coverage everywhere I need it. I'm not going to use those few extra grams. Thank you. Yeah, so we're just getting started with this one. This is going to get some beautiful vinyl added to it. This is the Mermaid Shimmer Instant Transfer full sheet. It comes in a big full sheet and cut it down. This is a full sheet of cheetah print. And this is Desmond and Oswald as my glitters. All right, now we're going to do our torching, slow and steady. Well, the torch is moving fast. The turner is moving slow and steady. There's quite a few bubbles, so we're just going to stay the course. The torch brings them right to the surface of pops. Very consistent. You just need the tip of that flame to brush that surface of that epoxy very gently and very quickly. If you pause at all, you will burn your epoxy. Do not pause. Keep it rolling. Quick, quick, quick. I normally only go around once. I'm doing twice because there was so many bubbles on this one. Okay, hit the butt. Okay, done. Now this will rock and roll. This one is done. This is not, this will get more layers because we're going to do more details on this cup as it gets done. But because of the glitter, we needed a layer of epoxy to get it smooth. All right, I'm going to take Keegan. I'm going to take, this is our mold from yesterday, the little snack cake. And I'm going to put Keegan in our epoxy. And utilize our leftover epoxy and make a little mold. Fill it in. Utilizing every drip drop of our epoxy. I will take acrylic markers tomorrow when we demold this and we can color it in with our acrylic pens, our acrylic paint pens. Now this one in theory should get a what are they called, the jump rings as well. I'm taking my toothpick and I'm coaxing that epoxy around those little keyhole points. Get my jump rings are very mixed up. I dropped them. That's what we choose for. It's too big. So, all right, we'll just let this cure. Very simple, just extra epoxy. Added our jump rings to reinforce the keyholes or the pendant holes where the charm will make these little charms. Gave it one little pop with my heat torch, busted all the bubbles, and we're good to go. Hi guys. All right, I went a little live early. I went early a little live today. I've been awake since about 1:15 in the morning. So I've had a really rough day. I feel like I've already lived 2 days in one because I've been awake for so long. So I came a little live early today because I was like, the chances of me still wanting to be functional later in the day is going to be real slim. So I'm going to be cutting out early today. If you just joined, this is a very long live. We go through a lot of information from start to finish. It was a very, very education-based live. We worked on multiple tumblers. We did a couple different we did a couple of different molds. I showed off the stuff that's new. So if you want to jump in, you can also just go to iwon'tglitter.com, click on today's deals. You'll see all the new stuff listed there as well. Tomorrow we'll demold these 2 little projects. They'll be fun. I'll show you guys how to use acrylic paint pens tomorrow. Tomorrow's also live mix day. I do not have a sneak peek of the color. We had a color set, and plans have to pivot a little bit. So we are changing it up a little for tomorrow. It will still be live mix, but the color is changing up a little bit. So I will see you guys tomorrow at 3. Take care. It is Ivan's birthday. Oh, it's Ivan's birthday. I'll still be live at 3, regardless of what we do. I'll see you guys at 3. It might be a short live tomorrow. I didn't forget it's my husband's birthday, but I got to sort that out. But we'll be here because I might just take him out for lunch. So we'll see you guys later. All right. Bye, you guys. Happy crafting.